How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the part 2 of the MAC-1014. This right here is the Turkish Benelli clone with the wood furniture, which absolutely looks gorgeous. Now, if you do want to check out part 1, it is on the channel, so feel free to do that if you want to. But as of right now, we are on to part 2, which we are nearing the 500 round mark. In part 1, we did 250 rounds with no malfunctions. Well, I guess you could say one slight hiccup with a warped shell. There was a shell that was pretty disfigured and it ended up causing a failure to feed. Personally, for me, I'm blaming the shell, not the shotgun on that. And now we're nearing the 500 round mark. We have a couple boxes left, which we will go through with you on camera. We have some 1275 velocities, and also we're going to be putting the shotgun to the ultimate test, running the lowest velocity it has seen so far, which is 1145s. And that's going to be a good test right there. But so far, the shotgun has pretty much seen 1290s, 1275s, 1250s, and 1300 plus. And it has ate through every single one of those shells, no problem. So needless to say, when it comes to those velocities and those power of shells, this gun is extremely reliable and will easily eat through those. Oh man, I also forgot to mention that we haven't cleaned this yet too. It's come right out of the box, shot the 250 rounds, still haven't cleaned it. Every time I've come out to camp or the shooting range, I've taken this out, popped some rounds through it, still have not cleaned it yet. It's looking pretty good for the MAC-1014 so far. But enough talk, let's finish off these rounds and get to those low velocity and see how this MAC-1014 can hold up to those low powered shells. All right, right here we are shooting some 1275s, Aquilas. These are extremely cheap rounds as well, so this is also a good test. All right, here we go. No problem. It's looking pretty dirty on the inside. I'm definitely going to be cleaning the shotgun. Definitely going to be cleaning the shotgun after this one. We'll do the old ghost load trick here. Put one in there. Put one underneath here. There. Now we got 7. Here we go. All right. I gotta clear some brush over here, so this is actually pretty good. Okay, these are the remaining rounds of those Aquilas. Once again, like I said, 1275s, this gun will easily eat through those. No problem, with no malfunctions. All right, on to the last box. This is the ultimate test for the MAC-1014. Can it run extremely low velocity rounds? These are Federal 1145 velocities. I think 8 shot or something like that. So let's see how it does. If I was a betting man, I'd bet that this isn't gonna go well for the MAC-1014. Here we go. All right. So far, so good. Here we go. 8 through those, no problem. Let's get some more. All right, we got some more 1145s. They are they're going pretty good so far. I'll shoot out this way. Let's go. Okay, we are on to the last 7 rounds of the low velocities. So we'll do the whole ghost load for this. Do this, put 5 in. Put 1 in the chamber. And seat 1. And the shell lifter there. There we go. And there is 7 Safety off. Here we go. Last 7 rounds. And that's why I don't bet, people, because I would have lost that bet. I did not think the MAC-1014 was going to go through those rounds, but it did. So let's talk about the gun. Well, there it is, everyone. 500 rounds through the MAC-1014, 2-part video, and only one slight hiccup with a warped shell. And like I said, I don't even count that as the gun's fault. That is 100% the shell's fault. So no malfunctions throughout the 500 rounds. Now, has my opinion changed from part 1 on this gun? And yes, the answer to that is yes. That is, I love this gun even more. I love it so much to the point where I think I'm actually going to pick up the breacher style shotgun, which is like the exact clone of the Benelli where you get the pistol grip and everything. Yeah, so I think I'm actually going to pick up one of those so I can really deck it out tactical. That's the only kind of issue if you do pick up the walnut version or the wood furniture version of this, is that it's so beautiful you don't really want to modify it at all, especially when it comes to the handguard or the stock or anything like that. Sure, you could definitely put a magazine tube extension or a different charging handle or whatever, right? That's fine and dandy, but when it comes to the actual overall look of the gun, you don't really want to modify it because it's so damn beautiful. So some quick specs on this gun. We do have an 18.5-inch barrel, 5 in the tube, 1 in the chamber. Of course, you can ghost load it for that 7th round. We do have a nice ghost ring rear sight there. I actually do really like that. It does have 2 dots on it, so it's really easy to pick up that front sight and kind of line up your shot. When it comes to accuracy, guys, it's a 12-gauge shotgun. It throws whatever you're sending through it in the direction you're pointing the gun, so that's always a good thing, right? We also do have some really nice stippling here on the actual grip and the handguard. Quality of this feels really good. Once again, there's nothing loose on this gun. It's solid. There's nothing coming loose. Even the pick rail on top is very firm, has not come loose. I know there are some people out there that did have that, did have the screws start coming loose where, you know, that's pretty easy fix. You just take out the screws, wipe off the grease, put some Loctite on it, boom. Get that pick rail back on, locked in place. Now, I can imagine there's like Benelli owners out there that cannot stand these types of clones, you know, Turkish clones that are coming out cloning their $2,000 shotgun, which does make sense. You know what I mean? They purchased a $2,000 shotgun, whereas this one comes in at around $400, which is like a fifth of the price of what a Benelli is. But what I'm going to say to you is that I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the MAC-1014 is a better option than the Benelli. The Benelli M4 has been out for a long time. There's data, there's testing, there's videos out there. It's proven to be an extremely reliable and well-made shotgun. Simple as that. I'm not going to tell you that the MAC-1014 is better, because it's not. But what I am going to say is that I really think the MAC-1014 is probably the best Turkish Benelli out there for the price, for the look, for everything when it comes to this shotgun. And if you're having a hard time deciding whether to get a Turkish shotgun like this or the Benelli, it all depends on what you're using the gun for. If you're going to use the shotgun for home defense or to protect and save your life or your family's life, I'd probably push you to lean more towards the Benelli or an expensive shotgun that's proven to be extremely reliable. Now, by no means am I saying that the MAC-1014 isn't reliable, because I just witnessed it go through 500 rounds like nothing, especially with the low power rounds, which, as you could see, I was shocked. But there's just not enough data on this shotgun to prove that it's extremely, extremely reliable like the Benelli M4. I mean, there's a possibility at 501 rounds that this thing could have a catastrophic failure or a malfunction, or 600 or 700 rounds. I'm not sure. I don't know how the internals of this shotgun has held up through those 500 rounds. Actually, now that I mention it, I'm pretty curious. Well, it went through 501 rounds, so there we go. You know, it's quite funny because I've noticed a pattern when it comes to gun owners and reviewers out there. The people that own the really expensive stuff, the gear and the weapons, Whenever they review a budget gun, they typically go out of their way to find anything wrong with that budget gun to put their expensive stuff higher. Whereas the people that own the budget stuff like this and review it, they typically go out of their way to find everything right with the gun to kind of get it up closer to, you know, the more expensive stuff. I'd like to place myself in between. I'm not saying that the MAC-1014 is better than the Benelli, but I'm also not saying that it can't get there or be very close to the Benelli, because I am going to tell you right now, this is a solid shotgun for the price. Like I said, for the look, everything, it's compatible with Benelli parts or aftermarket parts or whatever, so you can completely modify this to your liking and still have a really, really reliable shotgun. Now, I do want to be clear, just because I had an extremely great experience with this shotgun with essentially no malfunctions whatsoever, doesn't mean that you're going to have the same experience. You might buy this shotgun and it might be a pile of shit. And I really hope that doesn't happen. I really hope that you get the experience that I got, going through 500 rounds like nothing without even cleaning it straight out of the box and just having a very, very good time with it. But you are buying a budget shotgun, so there's a chance that you might have that bad experience. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much going to wrap up the video. We're not done with the MAC-1014. We are going to continuously send rounds through this to kind of add some data to the table. Probably have part 3s, part 4s, part 5s, getting up to thousands of rounds through this, and we'll see how the gun holds up throughout its lifespan. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below. If you have any questions, I'll try to get back to you. God bless you guys. I hope I see you in the next video. Take care.